Look into my eyes. Now I know why Earl had to leave. I wouldn't put up with that either. Now we're running beside her. Look at the look on her face. She's sitting on the back deck. Do you think that this would have been moments before she talked to the cameras, before she hightailed it out of there? She's so worried about all of her personal business being out there. I thought that was clever. We're going to learn that in this little article that comes up. It's not going to work in this situation, but I thought that initially when I heard it, I thought, oh my God, the RCMP are placating to her. That's what they're doing. They're making this as comfortable as possible to get all of the information out of Malaya that they can. And they're in a sense bragging about it on a professional level in front of the camera. Oh, this is just how fantastic of a rapport we're building with the people involved here now. So they investigate in a different manner in this case, especially with Malaya. That's what it sounds like. We'll read it in a moment. She is scary to you as a grown-up. Those kids must have hid from her. I don't know about that. You'd be surprised what neuro-linguistic programming does to a person. What was being conditioned into her head. She was being made over the past 2 years to feel bad over her kids. She wasn't looking after her kids. Nobody there liked her. She was being made to feel like she was doing something wrong. Maybe she was. Believe me, take a look around the place. She probably could have done a little bit more. They all could have probably done so. But I wouldn't take it from them who's at fault and whose responsibility was whose. They've lied to us every step. We don't need them to fill in that blank. The answer's right in front of you. She was made to feel bad about her kids in that sense. And it was a double whammy because the more that she kind of complied to that, to Daniel's isolating her away from Jack and Lily's biological family, the paternal side of that family, Jack and Lily's. Daniel, after fucking wooing this broad on Facebook of all places, on Facebook dating. Geez, I wonder where things went fucking wrong. Here's another nightmare story for Facebook dating. Probably the worst case. What could possibly go wrong? Murphy's Law. But the situation here is Daniel didn't feel it necessary because it put him out. It made him feel uncomfortable that Jack and Lily still had a paternal side to be active in, like a loving family in that sense. There's grandma. Her house was centered to no matter what went on, and Daniel was pretend jealous because her ex Cody was going to be there. Like, what kind of pussy are you, dude? What kind of pussy are you? What kind of shit is this? Especially coming from a guy who has 2 kids already with somebody else. I don't know why on earth Malaya chose to take this route with you. Like, look before you leap. Oh, but I can't wait to take her on that walk on that big sandy island beach again and show her the Daniel that I used to be. Fuck, well, it was only like 24 months ago, son. This fucking guy. Let's see here. am I going to do this? Got to figure out how to fit this on the screen better. Very white, isn't it? Let's go back here. So let me start reading you this article from the Globe and Mail. Probably already heard it, but most of you, if you're from Canada, it's hidden behind a paywall. But if you're from Europe or anywhere like that, you can read it for free. Yeah, I know. So anyway, you have to get it how you can get it. Yeah, that's a good point, Tambourine, in my chat, 36. That would have been my red flag. Your first red flag? If someone tried to keep my children from loving grandparents who cherished them, how selfish can you get? Right, exactly. And look how that ended. Bad freaking decision. Well, it seemed to be, the way she described it, to be over a period of time. It wasn't like an initial, decision, but it started with this divisiveness that you took with court action. Like, was gaining full custody in this situation absolutely necessary? Probably not. Like, Cody wasn't trying to fight for custody of the children. He can barely look after himself. The kids have to go somewhere. So why would you go through the process, number one, of trying to battle him in court? We don't know all the details. Who knows? I'm not trying to dismiss it. I just need you to know where we don't know yet. But it started there. The more that she wanted to get on with her life in that sense, and she found Daniel during this process where she was still visiting and it was still, far past the relationship in that sense, but it sounded like things were going all right. They weren't estranged by that point. The more time went on that she was with Daniel, the more that she felt awkward being there. I don't think that was a natural thing for her. Like, it seems like she's buying into the rationale of the person who's it's inconveniencing. Like, it was legitimate in the first place. Like, she doesn't have a backbone in that sense. Yeah, Tambourine and Belinda told him to come along for visits. And he refused. He didn't even want to try. Well, it's fine, you can refuse, but don't get sore when it happens. I mean, it's a window into the illogical framework of their early relationship. It has to do with making time to do things and prioritizing them into your schedule. Yeah, you remember old Danny boy letting everybody know that the only rugs in the house were Malaya's, suggesting that he was now remember it's coming from him, but he's suggesting that she's also a user. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think that's too far off. But that just makes a whole lot worse the situation that's already going on there. Sandra's saying it would have been a huge hassle for her to go visit. Then she'd have to deal with Daniel's questioning when she got home. Perhaps. So the way that they frame it, these things that Malaya suggests about the conflict and the physicality between Daniel and herself happened often. It's not just a one-off. She's using the term sometimes in it, right? So it was probably all the time, every time. Like, it got to the point where she would have to go and ignore everybody else just to go and call her family. Like, what do you think all of those calls were really about when things like that are going on? You shouldn't have to think too hard or deeply. She's in a shitty situation. They're probably telling her that, you know, she needs to get out of it. So how much of the truth, the whole truth, does Cindy and everybody know? They know enough, obviously. They've seen enough. But there's probably a whole lot more that they don't know. Not that it's necessary. I can't make excuses for Malaya, says Lori Green, if the kids were... Yeah. It's looking that way. They were all being abused in that sense. It's all been a problem. Listen, people are talking all about, and I appreciate the conversation about this dog. But I can't figure out for the life of me how it would... Reality is stranger than fiction in that sense. And I'm open to it, no doubt. But it would seem to me that if the dog was out and loose and got a hold of two children that are now missing, and I'm assuming that people are trying to attribute somehow that the dog, whether it was this off-colored, aggressive breed, somehow unalived the children. I have a hard time believing that happened because of it would make no sense in the moment to all of a sudden decide that you're going to get rid of bodies and cover up this huge crime because of a dog attack. Now that's a pretty fucking feisty fighting dog there, Michael Vick. If it's just going to go straight for the jugular and same thing. They almost say that word for word, and it's pointless. It's meaningless. It's supposed to mean, I'm like just like you. Look, I understand your concern. I'm just like you. That's what it's attempting to do. It's so disingenuous. Guilty person has that need, not an innocent person. You guys are having a really hard time making a connection with reality and touching the hearts of anybody in the world. You guys are all emotionally unavailable at this point in time. It has everything to do with the lies that you're bringing forth, you're portraying to us.
Anybody said or what anybody done, I would go get them myself, but I do not know where the kids are. I am sorry. I hope this nightmare comes to an end soon, because if not, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Believe me.
Fuck, well, she's well there already. I'd say Janies a walking nervous breakdown. If she's anything like she is and portrayed herself to be in that CBC interview, she's a nervous breakdown, if there was such a thing. Well, Trail Hiker, I don't think business was very good in that sense. You think old Danny was pimping her out as the kids were hanging out and she had her all sexy baby in the crib while she was taking care of business in the living room? They can't even keep their house clean enough to get repeat business. This is like the world's worst whorehouse. Christ, there's cleaner whorehouses out there. I'm sure should the chance have come up that if he could get some sort of money out of other people thinking that way, maybe it was a scam or a con of his he was doing online, who knows? But ain't nobody tapping that. And they're not paying anything for it. You've got better options. Way better options. You don't have to go backwoods and go the dirty route. You can, like in London here, you can just go down to that'd be York Street. You go down York Street and live your fantasy. It costs you money, but it's almost like Amsterdam. Not to that degree. But you can get your full play on it, rub and tugs. They even have businesses catered specifically to married couples. Ooh. Keep me away from that debauchery. I want a good old-fashioned girl. That's in the Western Fair District of London. I could never imagine this situation. Leslie saying, I've never personally seen these rugs firsthand. I've been the mom on mat leave, low income. I was a mama bear, protective. Well, Malaya certainly wasn't a mama bear, and that's any sense of the word. She was a type of individual that was caught up in a lot of lies in her own life. She was spiraling downward. The more that she was with this tweaker, the more all of his bad habits were rubbing off on her, and it was affecting the kids. They're so consumed in their own relationship and their interpretation of what a healthy relationship between a man and a woman should be and the reasons why they're doing it in the first place. The only reason why Daniel's doing it is for control. That's all he knows. He thinks that that's what it's for. Oh, Mr. Promises, let's walk on a long sandy beach together and maybe we'll whisper sweet nothings in each other's ear by the waterfalls. Oh, what the fuck would we talk about? What the fuck were you talking about? Were you talking about how shitty of a place you're about to move her into with Janie? Janie and her dog? Oh, she looks so damn good in her filters. You fell in love with each other's filters on Facebook dating. Can you imagine? Oh, she's so fine. Oh, she's so fine. I want to get with that. Mike said that the other day. Bah, I won't repeat it. About selling the person that you want to be. That's what Facebook dating is in that sense. And you can see that happening in this circumstance. Danny might want to be a whole different type of person, but the problem is right now, he sees himself as the monster. He knows that people see and interpret it that way and see him as such at this point in time. And they've got every reason to because he did the act. And that's the reason for this desperate conspiracy. He's pulled all kinds of people in. The more that you get to know them, like Janie, the more that you believe that they have a lot more to do with whatever happened to Jack and Lily. Wade and Cindy, they got the hell out of there as soon as possible. They saw what was going on. They had a feeling before they even arrived there. According to Wade. Well, Leslie, it doesn't really actually smell of anything. Weed's what smells. If Daniel didn't work, what did he do all day? Get high. What did Janie do all day? Get high. Malaya had the baby after the kids went to school. How did they get money? Is Janie receiving a monthly check? No, they got money every month based off of Jack and Lily. They got the maximum amount of stipend the government gives every child's mother every month. It's probably about $1,600, $1,800 maybe, plus more from Meadow. So he's living off all of that money, and that's affecting everybody else to the point where they're living for free in Janies' trailer while he continues to get fucking high on that Cristal, the Tina, the Jib.
And my dog is going to have one too, because he's just like me. He's so nervous. He's so upset. He's so much anxiety because I'm got so much in me that my dog is feeling it. And it's not fair to him. So I would love this to be over too, believe me. I would do anything in the world to find those children. Okay, I'm going to answer about 2 more questions, and then I'm calling it a night because I'm starting to get a headache repeating myself over and over again. Okay, if somebody asks me a question that I already answered, I'm going to say answered, and then I'll take the next one. I'll give you a chance for 2 more questions, so they better be questions that I haven't already answered.
I'll give you a chance for 2 more questions. She's like having a 50-50 raffle here. Oh, lucky, I'll do another spin. Are you playing bingo there, honey? She loves being Little Miss Popular. Little Miss, I know, and I have information that everybody wants. But you guys better be good and respect me and treat me nice and don't judge me. But if you do, I don't care.
Please. I don't know who the lady is that was asking me the questions earlier. If she's here, she can ask me the questions, please. Okay, if the question is already asked, I'm going to say answered it. Then you guys can go back and look at the answers because I'm not going to be here all night answering all your questions over again. I'm sorry. I'm getting older by the minute. Thank you. I appreciate that.
She's having a
I
hard
cannot say they were abducted by a stranger. That's my opinion. As I said, I lived here for 26 years. I know the traffic on this road. And I brought my kids up here. And Jack and Lily have lived here for 2 years. So I can't understand why it happened Friday. After them living here for 2 years. And the way Malaya was acting, in my opinion, I feel like she knew what was going on. And there's those 3 questions that I asked earlier. 1, how would anybody know the kids were home from school? And 2, how would they know when the kids were outside playing? And 3, when I seen Malaya standing outside of when I opened the RV door, she wasn't panicked, she wasn't out of breath, and she wasn't crying or yelling for those kids. Well, you can talk through the mic like I'm doing, because I would never be able to keep up with all your guys' typing all at once. Would I hear a car pull in my driveway where I live in the RV? It depends. If it's a newer car, probably not. But if they parked on the side of the road...
Janie, let me ask you a question, honey.
Hear it.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color, Janie? I'm so interested in you.
My dog...
Girl who does your makeup.
...alerts me when people come in my yard. So when he hears a voice, he barks. I get up and I look to see if anybody's there. My dog usually sits in the window. But that morning, my dog was sleeping with me in bed. When he heard the kids yelling, or kids talking, I should say, sorry, talking, my dog was in bed with me, and I told him, it's the kids outside playing. He shut right up. Then he barked again when Daniel was yelling out the back door for the kids. I didn't pay any attention to him because I thought he was telling the kids to get into the house. And besides, Jack lets my chickens out. And I let my chickens out at 7 o'clock that morning. So Jack has a habit of going around, moving stuff, and the chickens get out underneath the pen. So I thought he was yelling at him about the chickens. We've been saying that from the beginning. She only made one interview since that day when the kids went missing. She hasn't opened her mouth to anybody else, as far as I've known. We can't get any information out of the investigators. We've asked, but he says that they cannot tell us anything about their side of the family, what they're doing with them or what they are talking about or anything, because it has nothing to do with us. Just like they cannot tell them anything that we have said or we have done. So, if you want to blame anybody or anything, blame the RCMP and the investigators for not putting out a report on what has been done so far in this case.
Blame the RCMP. Don't blame her or anybody there. We don't feel bad. They're not even our grandkids. Oh, but I treat them just like one of my own. You can't have these ambiguous statements out there, Janie baby.
To answer your question to that, what do you think my motivation is for Malaya doing this? I can tell you this. I'm not Malaya. I don't know what Malaya thinks, and I don't know what Malaya does. So I don't have any idea what her motivation would be for her doing this. That's a